This is the Suzanne Cole Deposition Part 1 at 160 words per minute. For the defense, I'm Mr. Schwartz, S-C-H-W-A-R-T-Z.
I'm the witness, Suzanne Cole, C-O-L-E.
I am the plaintiff attorney, Mr. Werner, W-E-R-N-E-R.
Ready? Begin. Good morning, Mrs. Cole. My name is Victor Schwartz. I'm an attorney with Stevens & Winters, and my office represents the Railroad Cafe in this lawsuit that you have filed. We're here today in a proceeding which is called a deposition. As you can see, it's a very informal setting, but you've taken an oath to tell the truth, and that oath is just as important here as if we were at trial with a judge and jury. Do you understand that?
Yes.
The court reporter is taking down everything that is said and what he hears. At the end of the proceedings, he will transcribe it and bind it into a booklet called a transcript. That transcript can be read to the jury at the time of trial to point out inconsistencies that you might have given in your testimony today from what you say in the witness box at trial. So it's important that you understand my question before you try to answer it.
Okay.
I don't want you to guess at the meaning of the question. If you don't understand it, tell me you don't understand the question. I'll try to make it more intelligible.
I understand.
Have you had an opportunity to speak with your attorney about these proceedings today?
Just briefly.
Do you feel you need more time before we start the proceedings?
No.
The reason I say that is, once we start the deposition, the rules don't allow you to confer with your attorney about any particular question. You can confer with him this morning privately for as long as you wish before we start.
Okay.
If she doesn't understand the question, she has the right to say so.
I did mention that.
That's clear.
From time to time, your attorney may object to a question, so you want to stop speaking at that point and let him put his objection on the record. Do you have any questions before we start?
No.
Please state your address.
416 First Street, Lakewood, California.
And how long have you lived there?
Oh gosh. 4 years.
Is that a private home or is it an apartment?
It's an apartment.
And you rent?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Where did you live before the first street address?
In Spring Hill, Florida.
And how long did you live there?
7 years.
What is your date of birth?
9/29/70.
And your marital status?
I'm married.
How long have you been married?
It will be 15 years.
And your spouse's name?
Robert Cole.
Any children?
1 child.
How old?
She's 14.
What is your highest level of school you've completed?
I went through 1 semester of college.
When did you complete the 1 semester of college?
Right after I graduated high school in '88.
What is your occupation?
I'm a housewife and mother.
I didn't hear you.
Housewife and mother.
Have you worked outside the home?
I have previously.
Can you tell me a little about your work history?
Could you be a little more specific?
All right. When is the last time you held down a job?
I worked for the Gourmet Cafe up until April.
April of 2007?
Yes.
How long were you employed there?
I really have to think about the dates. I'm so bad at dates. I really can't remember, but I was there for a couple of months. It wasn't too long, really.
If you don't recall the dates, then don't guess.
I really can't. I can't guess.
That's another instruction. If you don't recall or don't know an answer to a question, that's a perfectly acceptable response. We don't want you to guess and we don't want you to assume. What did you do for the Gourmet Cafe?
I helped serve customers. As they came in, I gave them coffee.
What were your earnings?
$8 an hour.
How many hours did you work a week?
A week? Between 30 and 35.
And why did you leave?
They were bringing on someone with college experience. Their business was picking up and getting busy, and they needed someone with management experience.
So they let you go?
It was mutual.
Before Gourmet Cafe, where did you work?
I was working at Phillips Cafe.
Where is that?
That's at the Lakewood Mall.
What did you do there?
I worked the espresso machine.
And how long did you work at Phillips?
I'm going to say approximately 2 years. It could have been a little less, it could have been a little more. Like I said, I'm not very good with the time span.
What were the dates?
I don't have the dates.
Well, before you started the job at the Gourmet Cafe, do you recall when you last worked?
Not exactly, no.
I think she said twice she doesn't remember the dates.
Could you give me a year?
If you recall. If you don't recall, then that's all right.
I really don't recall it.
In reviewing your interrogatory answers, you stated that you were receiving unemployment benefits at the time of the accident.
Yes, that was soon after I was not working at Phillips Cafe.
Were you let go or laid off from Phillips Cafe?
They had closed down. They no longer existed at the mall.
Is that the reason you were collecting unemployment?
Yes, I was out of work.
Okay.
Because I was out of work.
Do you recall how long you collected unemployment?
I don't remember what the date was that it stopped.
Because as I read your interrogatory answers, you state that the benefits ended approximately 1 year before March 4, 2007.
I wouldn't remember the date.
Did anyone assist you in answering the written interrogatory questions in this case?
No.
Where did you get the information for completing the questions?
At the time I answered those questions, I perhaps thought that was the date.
Counsel, do you have your file?
I don't understand what you're leading to here.
I'd like an idea of what her past work history was and her past unemployment history.
If she supplied answers to interrogatories, she has time to think about it and perhaps look in her records, which is different from here where she's being asked a question and either she knows the answer or she doesn't.
The only way we're going to get any information is by asking her.
And she answered the question. Either she remembers and she gives you the information that she remembers or she doesn't.
Ma'am, when you answered the interrogatory questions, did you refer to any records or documents?
I may have. I don't know what you have written there. If it's an approximate time or if it's... I don't know what you're really asking me.
An approximation. An approximate time would be acceptable as long as it's based on some reality from your personal knowledge. We don't want you to take a shot in the dark or a guess.
That's where I have a problem right now because...
Just a minute.
You asked her several questions about when she worked, and she said she didn't remember. She does not remember the dates now.
Are you saying...
There's no question pending.
Okay, counsel, I'll try it another way. You returned to work on March 4, 2007?
That sounds correct.